Nobody just wake up and take a Tylenol for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the point. Anything you abuse for the sake of being high or drunk or whatever, like it's just like you can smoke, you can drink, but you can't be an alcoholic. You can't abuse alcohol. You can't abuse nothing. And you know what I'm saying? For the sake of any medication, it's just like taking painkillers. Painkillers ain't unlawful within themselves if you need them. But when you're just taking them and you become a junkie and it's unfruitful, then that's a whole different deal. Mm-hmm. See what we got going on. I think we touched on it like what a couple of days ago, 2 classes ago or something.
Touch on what?
Where I brought out a definition, carcinogens or in what was that?
We started to talk about it.
That was in the class, right? Or that was just me? That was when I.S.U.P.K came, right?
I think it was when the officer consulted.
Was it? I don't remember talking about it in that class. I thought it was in
Because he said he was gonna write it down for his notes. He said he was gonna put it down to his notes.
So that was when Officer Cuz was down.
Oh,
All right. Anniversaries. Do you know what today is? You wanted me to touch on that in class?
No, I answered my own.
I mean, I will.
It's gonna be.
You answered your own question.
I thought because I knew when they asked me about it, I told her I'm pretty sure it's not unlawful. I couldn't think of why I kept saying it wasn't unlawful, but I knew it wasn't unlawful. You knew it wasn't unlawful because you remember me and Tamika. I'm taking her Hebrew name back. You remember me and her celebrating our anniversary when we was together, right? That's yeah. But he ended up so when she went to work, she was a tad bit upset, and her coworker.
Who? Yeah, because right.
Because so they got off work.
I might touch on it. I don't know.
Her coworkers took out to get a drink or something. So
for her anniversary.
Since he wasn't doing it, since he said it was
oh, that's terrible. So, that's terrible. You know, they was talking about him. He was all kind of sorry MFs and all kind of stuff. Don't let her homegirls talk about you.
So we got to the house.
That food.
Where she been is at the
30. Yeah, see this.
Ended up putting his hands on her.
He put his hands on her. They don't teach him that. He put his hands on her. So hold on, wait a minute. So he thought it was unlawful to celebrate his anniversary, but he put his hands on it. Oh, okay. It wasn't unlawful to put his hands on it.
He got hands put back on him though.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Then,
the Lord wasn't with him.
He called the police.
He called the police. Really?
I can't make this shit up.
Man, tell that brother to get out. Hey, listen, tell that brother to get out of that coat, man.
He died anyway.
He dying, but still, he got to get out of that, man. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Let me go ahead and start this thing. Well, I already started it. Damn. That's crazy. All right, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yeshua Gatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Latah B'Hashem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. I.S.U.P.K. started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, back in 1969. We're now under commanding General YAHANNA. Not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group, especially after that story. Definitely not affiliated with, with any Hebrew Israelite group. Priest and officer Kazak the Mob. I.S.U.P.K. Jacksonville, Florida. We're here in the 103rd library. If you want to call in, number is 305-985-5453, 305-985-5453. Let me know in the chat if you call in to ask a question so that we'll know. Go ahead and get in class. Let's let me see here. Did it come up? Oh, okay. All right. So let's go ahead and see where I want to start at today. Brother had a question about anniversaries. Anniversaries are not unlawful. You ain't gonna find in the scriptures where nobody celebrated their anniversary. But as far as, you know what I'm saying, you and your woman want to celebrate the anniversary, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not the same as a birthday or anything like that. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to turn your man into an idol on your anniversary or turn your woman into an idol on your anniversary. That's a hard thing. If you need any kind of assistance with that, seek some counsel. Just call them on what you can and cannot do. But there's nothing wrong with celebrating an accomplishment in life. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So let me see here. What was the other one? Oh, trees. sweet Chiva. Let's see what we got. Carcinogens. I think that's the word. I teach this a little bit different. I did run it by some captains and they said it was too wild for me to teach it the way that I teach it. So I'm gonna keep teaching it that way. Let me see here. What I teach is that smoking weed is idol worship, right? Idol worship. And the reason I teach that is because a lot of people don't realize that they idolize. I remember being in a world, right? I did music. I was a rapper. And I realized when I came into the truth, I had like 7, 8 songs about weed, none about God. Not one, right? I was thinking about it, like how great weed is that you have 5 songs about that, but you can't say nothing about how good the Most High is. It's kind of weird. Remember when I was a Rasta, they taught ganja was the healing of the nation. It was found, it's entheogen. Can you get me that? Entheogen. 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 Look that up for me. That it was the healing of the nation. I also remember we used to let me see here. Give me Genesis chapter 1, verse 29 real quick. Oh boy, I gotta flip some pages today. Let me know if we have any questions. Ain't nobody in, right? All right, no sweat. I'm gonna go ahead and share the class. Share the class and on Facebook. Let me see here. You got it? Go ahead and read.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth.
There it is right there. The Lord gave you herbs. So what's the problem? There it is right there in the Bible. And this is what we used to read when I was a Rastafarian, so-called Rastafarian in the world. That the Lord gave you every herb and every seed, right? That's on the face of the earth. That's what it says. Keep reading.
And every tree.
Every single tree. Go ahead.
and the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed.
Mm-hmm.
To you it shall be for meat.
To you shall smoke it.
It shall be for meat.
It shall be for what?
For meat.
For meat. What does that mean? What does that mean? It shall be for meat. Go ahead.
To be eaten.
To be smoked.
To be eaten.
To be what?
To be eaten.
To be eaten. As part of any what they would call Eastern culture, doctor would tell you that eating herbs could be good for you, right? Certain things you can do. Here's the thing. Nobody is doing it. They lying if they saying that they smoking herb for its medical benefits. They not. They smoking it to get high. You want to know how we know? CBD don't get you high, right? CBD don't get you high. But because of people's fixation with marijuana, they deal with CBD, and eventually they say it ain't working. So now they got strands of herb that is higher in THC, and they take the CBD out, which is the thing that really would help you. Also, when you doing anything, it's talking about eating certain things. So like if you include certain herbs in your diet, it'll help out with your blood pressure, things of that nature, so on and so forth, right? But smoking anything is lighting incense to another god. Nah, you wasn't done there. Oh, you got it? Smoking anything is lighting incense to a god. It didn't say that he gave you that herb to light on fire and inhale. All right, so keep reading.
Verse 30.
It might have been all to it. Is that all to it?
Okay.
All right, yeah. It was that you read 2 verses?
No, that's all 29.
All right, give me 30 again.
Verse 30. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat.
For what?
For meat.
He said it twice, right?
Okay.
He said it at 29 and he said it for 30. I've given it for meat, meaning you can eat herbs, right? Nobody want to eat it now. When you're talking about edibles, there's a difference between what you're eating for your health or what you're taking and ingesting for your health and what you're taking to get high. You could take a pill. You ain't smoking it. And this is the reason why young people think that it's okay to pop pills, because you're not smoking, right? But if you're doing it just to get high, you're a junkie. All right. So let's get that together. All right. Let's get that together. You could take cough medicine, but if you're taking it just to get high, you're a junkie. You could take herbs, but if you're taking them just to get high, you're a junkie. Everybody understand? Okay. Entheogen. You got that?
Okay.
All right.
Entheogen.
Mm-hmm. This is a word that a lot of people don't know exists, but it does. Go ahead.
Oh, God. A chemical substance, typically of plant origin.
Wait a minute. A chemical substance, typically of plant origin. Go ahead.
Oh, God. That is ingested to produce a non-ordinary state of consciousness.
This is why people smoke weed. This is why people do, eat edibles and so on and so forth. It's not for the medical benefits like they lying and saying. It's what? To produce what?
A non-ordinary state of consciousness.
A non-ordinary state of consciousness. I remember telling my family before I was in the truth about weed. I was like, it helps me get closer to God. That's what I said, right? In my head, I thought it helped me get closer to God. In reality, what it was doing is just getting me high. And everything that I was thought, hey, what's going on here? Everything that I thought I was doing right, for the sake of trying to get closer to God, it really was just making me high, and I thought I was talking to God when I might have been talking to somebody else. All right, so keep reading.
Oh, God. For religious.
For what?
For religious or spiritual purposes.
There you go, right there. for religious or spiritual purposes. Now, this is what people don't understand about weed. When you go into it, if you read down, it'll tell you about Shiva and the first people who follow after that god were the East Indians. They smoke weed and it gives them a consciousness and closer to Shiva and so on and so forth. Rastafarians follow right after that same god and they do it. That's why they grow the dreadlocks and so on and so forth. I ain't really going to get into all of that. All I will tell you is this, right? If you go down in the scriptures, I'll give you a couple of scriptures just so you understand. Genesis 1 tells you it was made for meat, right? And if you go, give me Genesis 8 and 20 real quick. You got three types of offerings, right? Burnt offerings, or whatever the case may be. You got, you got drink offerings, which is liquid. You got burnt offerings, which is like meat, where you would sacrifice a bullock or a ram or something like that. And then you got burnt offerings, which they call incense, which is like made plant-based, right? So now, if you're burning these incense, the Lord specifically tells you what to burn and how to burn it within the temple. If you go into our actual classes at the school, we'll have incense burning. It's usually like frankincense and myrrh or something like that. It ain't never weed, right? It ain't. So you got these different things or whatever the case may be. You'll burn unto the Lord. The Lord told you what to do. So I just want to like hit that real quick and then we'll go into the topic. Go ahead.
Oh God. Genesis chapter 8, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
And Noah builded an altar unto the Most High and took of every clean beast.
Every what?
Clean beast.
Uh-huh.
And of every clean fowl.
Mm-hmm.
And offered burnt offerings on the altar.
There you go. That's like one of the things where you would have it as a actual meat. So if you go to Exodus 29 and 18, it'll do the same thing. Give me Exodus 30 and 7 real quick. Don't forget that word entheogen, right? They said it has religious connotations. Generally from the Greek, meaning generating the divine within. That's what that means in the Greek, that word, right? So it's supposed to be like to get you closer to God and all this other stuff. Meditation, prayer, divinatory. They use pio, deprivation, things of that nature. Go ahead with the scripture.
Oh God. Exodus chapter 30, verse 7. And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning.
So this is like the Lord telling you to set some plants on fire, but he'll tell you what to burn. Go ahead.
Oh God. When he dresseth the lamps, he shall burn incense upon it.
Mm-hmm.
And when Aaron lighteth the lamps at even, he shall burn incense upon
So who was Aaron? Aaron was the priest. The Lord told him to burn certain incense, certain things he told you to burn. Now, he didn't say stand over it and inhale it. He never said that, right? But these things were to be go ahead and read it.
Oh God. A perpetual incense before the Most High throughout your generations.
Oh, man, I skipped one. Let me read Exodus 29 and 18. Thou shalt burn the whole ram unto the altar. It is a burnt offering unto the Most High. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto the Most High. That's an offering to God. Is when Israelites set things on fire, they are offering to the Most High. Get that right. Now, then you got entheogens where they're doing it to increase a state of consciousness. Ain't that what you read? All right, so make sure you understand the difference. Are you doing it for the Most High or you doing it for, read the other part, what you finna read, verse 9.
Verse 9, ye shall offer no strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifice, nor meat offering, neither shall ye pour drink offering thereon. So
don't burn no burnt offering, meaning like if you go into the Maccabees, they talk about how they had us sacrificing unclean animals. They were sacrificing swine's flesh in our temples once they took over. Or a drink offering. You pouring a drink up to another god. Or baking cakes, or offering burnt offerings or incense to another god. And when you get into that word in theologian that I pulled up, you'll find out that that's what people are doing when they smoking weed. They don't even know it, right? Give me Jeremiah 44:17 real quick. Jeremiah 44:17.
Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 17.
Now, remember, I'm gonna give you a little background on this. The priest was telling them that they cannot pour drinks and burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and this is their response to the priest. Go ahead.
Come. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing go forth out of our own mouth.
Out of whose mouth?
Our own mouth.
Out of the priest's mouth.
Our own mouth.
Out of the prophet's mouth.
Out of our own mouth.
They say we're gonna do whatever we say we're gonna do. that right there, that's the kind of stuff that be like, yeah, you know what? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are these same people. We're gonna do what we say we gonna do. I don't care about what you talking about. I'm gonna do what I think I should do. Go ahead.
To burn incense into the Queen of Heaven.
To set plants on fire in honor of the Queen of Heaven. Go ahead.
And to pour out drink offerings unto her.
Sipping on some scissor. Go ahead.
As we have done. We and our fathers.
All our fathers did it. Everybody you know smoke weed. Everybody you know is pouring up, and they are doing it in the name. Like when we get together on a high holy day and we have wine, a strong drink, or whatever the case may be, in the name of the Lord, that is totally different from what brothers in the world is doing on the regular. Y'all do understand that, right? All right, go ahead.
Come. Our kings and our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem.
Right. For
then had we plenty of victuals.
Yeah.
And were well and saw no evil.
So this is what the children of Israel is saying. When we was pouring drinks and burning incense to the Queen of Heaven, everything was good. So why would we stop? We're going to keep doing it, right? And guess what? I can't speak for nobody else, but when I smoke, all of the problems that I really, really had that I needed to deal with just went right away. Everything was good, right? Everything was good. But since I stopped smoking, now I got to deal with it. Go read verse 18, what they say.
Come. Verse 18, but since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings.
Since we stopped getting high, right? Go ahead.
We have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine.
Now, let me tell you something. When you start getting high, that ain't when niggas first start getting killed. That ain't when people first start being in poverty and going through things. And you just started paying attention to what was going on. You was already dealing with famine and being taken by the sword and so on and so forth. You just was so high that you didn't care about it, right? Keep reading.
Come. And when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men? So now, you think they was doing this by themselves? All together was people getting together for the sake of doing this, to pour out drinks and to burn incense and to bake cakes, meaning to have a feast in honor of the Queen of Heaven. That's why when the Lord is saying, I'm hating your feast days, right? No matter what feast day you called yourself keeping, it was not in obedience to what the Most High prescribed. And he don't like none of that. All right? So we could keep going on down, but I think you get the point. Let me see. I think that's the only one I just hit. If we go into Hinduism, right, it'll tell you about Shiva and they was drinking and bang according to the religious rites. It'll talk about weed and so forth in Hinduism. It'll talk about Rastafarianism, right? And when you get to it,
You got to understand what the healing of the nations is. So let me just hit that real quick. Revelations 22. Break this thing out, right?
Revelations chapter 22, verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal,
right,
proceeding out of the throne of God and out of the Lamb.
So this is a pure river, right, of the waters of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne. So these waters are coming out of the throne of the Most High. Go ahead.
Oh God. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, were there the tree of life.
So now you got the tree of life, right? You got the river of water of life, the tree of life that's growing, being fed by this water. Remember, it's a scripture that says, a person that standeth on the commandments of the Most High shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Meaning that, you know what I'm saying, you got everything you need to sustain you. This is what it's talking about. Go ahead.
Oh God. Which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
There you go right there. Y'all see that? The healing of the tree. What it say? The leaves of the tree were for the healing of nations. That gotta be talking about weed, right? If it's not talking about weed, what is it talking about? I just broke it down for you, right? The river of water is talking about the law, statutes, and commandments. The tree is the people, right? People are referred to as trees all through the Bible. This is how we break down the allegory that's in Genesis chapter 3 or 2, where it's talking about Adam. Everything is referring to something else. In other words, the rib, flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone, is talking about his family. Right, the trees or the other nations were talked about as trees in the all throughout the scriptures. You're talking about the certain trees and the things that they produce, the fruit that they produce, are their doctrines and are, you know what I'm saying, the things that they would teach you. For instance, the tree that's on top now, you got Edom, which is a certain type of tree in the Bible, and what it produces is everything that you're going through, as far as pork being the other white meat, as far as homosexuality being a alternative lifestyle, as far as you can do whatever you want, believe in whatever you want, everybody is equal, all of this other stuff. That is not our tree. That is not that's not the tree that the Lord gave Adam and Eve. It's not the tree that we're supposed to be eating from. The tree that we're supposed to be eating from is the law, statutes, and commandments found in this book, which is Psalms 147, 19, and 20. You want to go ahead and read it real quick? That's all I needed for that. Psalms 147, 19, and 20. This is a loop, so you might not want to write this down in your notes for weed or whatever. I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of it. It's actually a whole class. You got it?
Okay.
Go ahead and read it.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
Yeah. His
statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Unto who?
Unto Israel.
Unto everybody.
Unto Israel.
Go ahead.
Come. He have not dealt so with any nation.
What does that mean? He have not dealt so with any nation. The fruit that grow on this tree don't grow on no other trees that's in the garden. The stuff that he's giving this nation, he has not dealt so with any other nation. That's what it says in the Bible. Go ahead.
And as for his judgments,
as for the punishment that comes along with not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, go ahead.
They have not known.
They have not known. There was no bigger homosexual on the face of the earth than a white man. But guess who gets AIDS? Black and Hispanic people. Right? There's not a bigger criminal, drug dealer, murderer on the face of the earth than our oppressor. But guess who goes to jail for it at the tune of there's 2 million Black and Hispanic men locked up in prison. We get punished for the thing that they're doing more than us. You know why? Because he gave us the law, statutes, and commandments and told us not to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you got kids, you tell your kids to be in by a certain time. You need to be in here by 8 o'clock, right? You don't care if nobody else's kids ain't in by 8 o'clock. You care about your kids. You're going to punish your kids for not doing what you say. It ain't Tyrone and all them down the street. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. I told you to be in here. And that's what the Lord is saying to us. I told you to be in here and do what I told you to do, not anybody else. He have not dealt so with any nation. That's all of it.
Praise you the Most High.
Oh, praise you the Most High. Good. It's a good thing that he gave it to us and not anybody else. Now, let's go back to this. Revelations 22:2, right? And the leaves of the tree were the healing of the nation. Give me Jeremiah 33:6. Jeremiah 33:6. Let's break that down real quick, and then we'll get out of here into whatever topic I want to go into.
Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 6.
Yeah.
Behold, I will bring it health and cure, and I will cure them.
This is the Most High speaking. Go ahead. Read it again.
Behold, I will bring it health.
I will bring health and cure. Go ahead.
And I will cure them.
And I will cure them. Now, is it this tree that's really curing somebody? Now, we had this conversation all the time. Did Moses part the Red Sea or did the Most High part the Red Sea? Did Christ raise the dead or did the Most High raise the dead? If you ask Christ, Christ said, I can do nothing of my own, but what the Father tell me to do. He's the one doing the works. So everything, like even when we talk about the trip to Acuna and the I.S.U.P.K going down in Mexico, right? And the Mexicans helping us find those Haitians that was down there up under that bridge. That ain't us doing the work. It's the Most High doing the work, but he's using us to do it, right? So now if he got herbs that's within the earth that he's giving you for meat, not the smoke, for meat, it ain't the herb that's healing you. It's the Most High using the herb to do it. Everybody follow me. Okay. All right, go ahead. Behold, I will bring health and cure, and I will cure them. Go ahead.
Okay. And will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth.
We'll reveal unto them the abundance of peace and use. Give me wisdom of Solomon 16:12. Let me show y'all what's going on, right? Show y'all what's going on. The Lord said in Revelations, and he also said in Genesis. Now, this is the first book in the Bible, Genesis. The last book in the Bible, Revelations, about the herbs, right? And the leaves of the trees being the healing of the nation, the herbs he's giving you for meat, all of these different things. Now, with my simple self, when I was studying and learning from those people who praise Selassie as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the power of the Trinity. Oh my God. Anyways, you would follow along with this thing and not knowing any better, thinking that it is the herb that will heal our nation. When the Lord just said, I will bring health and cure. I will cure them. I will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth. Now read Wisdom of Solomon 16:12.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12. For it was neither herb.
For it was what?
Neither herb.
It was neither herb. Go ahead.
Okay. Nor mollifying plaster.
Nor plaster, right?
That restored them to health.
That restored them to health. It was not none of that stuff that people think helped them get back to health. Go ahead.
Okay. But thy word.
But what?
But thy word.
But whose word? Go ahead.
O Lord.
The Lord's words.
Which healeth all things.
Which healeth all things. There have been things that other people have had to take medicine for that I've never taken medicine for. But my obedience to the word of the Most High have healed me. I think after Passover, everybody had COVID. We were just hugging each other like it wasn't no pandemic. Shalom, y'all was showing your thigh. Come back, everybody. And the Lord healed us all. And made me go get the vaccine. You know what? And I'm going to hug y'all again when y'all come to Florida, April 15th. You know what I'm saying? For the Passover. That's right. We at the helm. Me and Yamayan will be there in our backyard. Come on down. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be great. Shameless plug, but get it. Read it again. Read it again. Read that from the top.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health.
Right.
But thy word,
oh Lord. Yep.
Which healeth all things.
Just so you know, it ain't the weed that's gonna heal you. It ain't gonna do nothing. The Lord is going to heal you of everything that you have. You go to physician. Ecclesiastes 38, 1 and 2 says if the physician would give you a prescription for weed, then you still don't smoke it because the Lord never told you to light anything on fire. What you would do is if you have a prescription based from your doctor, then you would eat it or, make tea or something like that in order to use that properly. Anything other than that, you're just trying to get high and you're a junkie. All right, so we can leave that. We can leave that right where it's at. Y'all, everybody understand, right?
Okay.
You got it, sis? All right. Let me see where we want to go next. Let me get Isaiah chapter 28 real quick. Isaiah chapter 28.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 1. Woe to the crown of pride.
Oh, did I hold on, wait a minute. No, we verse 9.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge?
This is a question.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Who is the Lord going to teach knowledge to? And who is he going to make to understand doctrine or his way or what you should believe in? Go ahead.
Come. Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Now, is this talking about literal milk and literal breast? What is this talking about? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. What this is talking about is there comes a point in time. The scriptures say when I was a child, I spake as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things, right? When you're a baby in this truth, you don't know nothing. It would be good for you to deal with the milk. And this is what we teach most of the time in this class, milk. Thou shalt not. The things you need to know to be able to apply the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave us in his Bible to your life on an everyday basis. Most people can't get it to you that way. Like, I see everything you saying, but how do I leave out of this class and I go apply that to my life, right? What you got to understand is you don't need to know everything, but the things you do need to know are what the Lord said you can and can't do. And if you're able to start there, that'll help you out as far as understanding other things, right? For instance, even with when we was talking about anniversaries, birthdays, whatever the case may be, when you understand what the Lord wants for you, then you can understand what he don't want for you, right? You get to Amos or Jeremiah chapter 10, where he says, learn not the way of the heathen, neither be dismayed at the signs of heaven. These things that he's teaching you is that he don't want you to do the things that the other nations do. So now when you look in the Bible, it's only one person that you can find that's celebrating their birthday in the Bible, and he was not an Israelite. It was a heathen king. I can't think of which one it was at this time. Could have been Nebuchadnezzar or somebody like that, right? Everybody else, we celebrated the Passover, the high holy days, the feast of unleavened bread, so on and so forth. We kept those things. Even in the New Testament, Christ kept the feast of dedication, which was not a high holy day, but a feast day, right? All of the things that's in the Bible that celebrated the destruction of our enemies and also the rise in our God, showing himself to make us who we supposed to be. Now, back to the scripture. Who shall he teach knowledge and whom shall he get to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk. So at first, in order for you to be weaned from the milk, you first got to get the milk, right? In order for the baby who's being breastfed to be changed from breast milk into food, he got to first get the milk. You can't start way over here and not get the basics of what we teach in the I.S.U.P.K. Like I want to know how many times Christ was here, how many heavens it is. I want to know all this deep, deep, deep stuff, but you don't know how to deal with your family coming into the truth. You don't know how you should be at work. You don't know those simple things that you got to do every single day. Why are you learning how to do what the Lord said to do? Because some people will tell you, you can't even show your wife a nice time out on the anniversary. There's a difference between the Lord saying do this and don't do that. Those things that he said don't do is those things that would destroy you or to cause you to walk after or take fruit from the other trees in the garden if you was in this class early. You understand? Those that are weaned from the breast and drawn from the milk. So once you get these things, right, this is how you learn as a baby right here. When people pull this and they say this is how you have to break stuff down, they don't know what they're talking about. Read verse 10.
For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
So here's what you got to understand. The Lord don't change. So if it says it one place in the Bible, you could be able to show somewhere else in the Bible that this has happened in order for somebody to understand. Now, when you become a man of understanding, you don't need all that. All I need him to do is show it to me one time. Okay, there it is. I get it. Now, if I need a little bit more, there is another place in the Bible where you can learn. So this is talking about babies in the truth. This is talking about people who don't get it based on one scripture. They need you to show them some more. Ain't nothing wrong with that. To them, you would go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. But that's not really the way the Lord wants you to teach. He don't want you to just pull a little piece of scripture, go somewhere else, way over there that ain't got nothing to do with it, and then make it apply to what you're trying to say. That's not really what he's saying. So people use that out of order a lot of times. I just want to make sure y'all understand that what that's saying is when you first coming into the truth, that's the one that's how you do the milk. Let me show you over here where he said the same thing. Let me show you over here where he said the same thing. You get it? All right. So go ahead, keep reading.
Come. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people.
For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people. The Lord is speaking to us in English right now, right? We speak English. Septuagint was in Greek. I think Tyndale wrote a Bible in Latin, right? Our people write in Assyrian Hebrew now because we was under Assyrian captivity, right? It's stammering lips and another tongue so the Lord speak to his people. But all of this stuff was really, we called Hebrews because of the language that we spoke. Israelites because of the bloodline that we come from. So the Lord speaks to us really in Hebrew. Now, there might be 5 different definitions to a Hebrew word in English. The context ain't going to always be what it need to be. That's why you got to take people to another precept in order for them to get it, right? Give me 1 Corinthians 3:2 real quick. That's why I don't mind teaching it. Like, give me all the people that's first coming into the truth, because I know what I struggle with sometimes. And what it was I thought I was smart. You don't want to be thinking you smart coming into the truth, right? That's a hard thing because what we learning is spiritual, right? And the scriptures say that what it says the wisdom of this world is foolishness to the Lord, right? All of the things that our oppressor thinks is going to save him. In our actuality, that stuff is really what's going to destroy him. So when we start World War III, them same nukes and all of this stuff that they saying, the GMOs and all of that they came up with to make the plants better, the Lord is going to send locusts to eat up all that stuff. The Lord is going to send bombs that they created on their own wisdom in order to destroy them. Ain't that crazy? And the only thing that's going to sustain you is following and keeping obedience with God. That's it. Everything else and everybody else is going to fall by the sword. That's what it's saying in the Bible. But go ahead and read.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2.
All right.
I have fed you with milk.
This is what Paul's saying to the church in Corinth, right? I have fed you with milk. Go ahead.
Come on. And not with meat.
And not with meat. What does that mean? What he's saying is, like, Paul was really a vegan, right? And he was saying, I haven't given you meat because you ain't supposed to be eating meat. That's not what it's saying. He said, I fed you with milk and not of meat. Why? Keep reading.
For hitherto ye were not able to bear it.
For up until this time, you was not able to grasp what I was saying that was deep and heavy and all of that. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Neither yet now are ye able.
Neither are you now able to understand. So what you don't want to do for brothers that's officers in this truth is give somebody something so heavy that they can't grasp it and understand it. What you want to do is give them milk. What is milk? Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians are the children of God, right? The Lord gave them certain rules to live by, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. What else? You know what I'm saying? He don't want you to be like the other nations. Everything that we was taught in the Christian church, in our Muslim mosque, in our Catholic, whatever they call it, all of that has nothing to do with God. If you go to Colossians 2:8 or 2:8, where it says, beware lest any man fool you after the traditions of man and not after the rudiments of the world and not after Christ. This is all the stuff we learned. Lady asked me today, you ready for Thanksgiving? You know what I'm saying? This is a big deal right now. I told her I'm boycotting, right? I was like, I'm boycotting Thanksgiving. She was like, well, I ain't really up for it either, but I like to eat. People don't really care. I remember I had to go to Orlando. My mama and my daddy went down to pick up my sister for Thanksgiving. I was in the truth, and I went down there, and they got down there, and Escalade wouldn't start. So I had to go down there and pick them up. Now, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So what I did was I made them listen to and read what happened to Tonto, the Native American Indian, and how the Pilgrims destroyed that whole Indian village the whole time, right? You know what my little cousin told me? She was in high school. She was like, yeah, I heard about this before. I was like, oh, you knew about this? She was like, yeah. We don't really care about like the stuff behind Thanksgiving. We just want to eat. I was like, oh, so it's simpler than what you think. Everything ain't always deep. The reason people don't want to give up these holidays is the fun. It's the fun, it's the being around their family, and so on and so forth, right? They don't really care whether or not when you come in here, but when you come to serve the Lord, then you have to care because these things are contrary to what the Lord told us to do, right? So I ain't gonna go into it.
Even the turkey is not lawful and Thanksgiving you shouldn't eat it.
All right, so let me tell you what I would do, right? Thursday, I won't eat turkey. Sometimes Friday, I won't eat turkey. If it's turkey left, then I'll get me a plate. What I won't do is let them, all right, to them, it's regular turkey. Turkey is lawful, right? There's nothing wrong with turkey. There's nothing wrong with anything that's lawful, you can eat it, right? But what you don't want to do, you want to make a separation between yourself and them. That's what holy is being about. Like, I'm not doing what you doing. That's the only reason I don't go, right? It ain't lawful for turkey, dressing, green, none of that stuff. It's unlawful. You can eat it. But what you don't want to do is make them, they looking at it as Thanksgiving turkey. They ain't looking at it as a turkey. It's really just a turkey. You understand what I'm saying? To them, it's Thanksgiving turkey. Now, what they would say is, my family, if I could show it up, he say he don't celebrate Thanksgiving. He sure was tearing that turkey up. You see what I'm saying? It's a stumbling block. What I want to do is set myself apart. I am the Lord's chosen people. I'm separated. I don't celebrate this holiday. Now, if y'all want to come, I invited my mama. I said, Mama, we having the Passover in Florida this time. You ain't got to go nowhere. You coming? You know what she said? No, she ain't coming. Why wouldn't she come? She a Christian, right? Christ kept the Passover. Why wouldn't she come?
She don't want to deal with that cult.
I'm in a cult. Why am I in a cult? Because I do what Christ said to do. Because I follow what the Bible said to do. So now, if they ain't willing to come and break bread with me on the holiday that the Lord said it, I'm not going to do with them on a holiday that don't nobody eat turkey no other day out of the year. You don't just randomly show up at somebody's house and they like, yeah, what you cook? Oh, I baked the turkey. Anybody ever did that? Like, it don't happen. They only eat it because your oppressor tells you when to eat it. People don't buy stuff for their kids all year long. They got to have it for Christmas, though. You ain't bought your son nothing all year long. All of a sudden, because Esau tell you you got to do it. Now you going to do it. Yeah, so you'll hear a whole bunch of classes based on the holidays. It's really just they have made their holidays more important than the Lord's holidays. That's all it is. The things that the Lord told us to do is not important anymore. It's more important to follow it. Just like, you know what I'm saying, you can go, there's plenty of places that's not open on Sundays or something like that based on, like, we don't open as a liquor store I work at. We don't open until 1 o'clock based on the ordinance they have in the county, right? They want to wait till everybody get out of church. And the people come straight from church and be waiting for us to get home. Like, yo, but Saturday, the Sabbath, when they should be closed, they wide open. Nobody cares about what the Lord said. Everybody cares about what the oppressor says. So that's part of why you have to go into it in a manner that you have to go into. Shalom, I.S.U.P.K. Call me after class. I'll holler at you about a song. All right, so let's go into that, right? Dealing with your family. When you come into the truth, the hardest thing you have to deal with is your family. And the reason why is because you not eating certain foods. If I just tell somebody, like where I come from, St. John Rivers runs right through the city, right here. Biggest thing people do is seafood. You know what I'm saying? In the world, shrimp, crabs, garlic crabs, lobster, all this stuff is a part of the culture in this city and in the city where I'm from, right? So just tell somebody you don't eat shrimp. Watch how they look at you. Tell them you don't eat pork. Watch how they look at you, right? So now here's the problem. You got to learn how to deal with it. Coming in here, especially officers, young officers, they want to beat their mom across their head to tell her to stop eating pork. You can't do that. It's not what you do. What you do is you be a living example of the right way to do things. And if the Lord is calling them, then they'll ask you questions. Other than that, leave them people alone, all right? Give me Exodus chapter 20 and verse 12. We're going into how to treat your family. How to treat your family coming into the truth, right? Certain things. I know a brother be trying to cut their daddy and cut their mama and all that. Like, know what I'm saying? I told her. I went over there to their Thanksgiving and started preaching about how you shouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving. That's not what you want to do. Leave the people alone. Let them do their thing. If they ask you a question, be willing to give an answer. If you're a sister or a brother who's not authorized to teach, all you can say is, hey, I got somebody who can answer this question. And if your husband is an officer or you got a man over you or whatever that you report to, just give them a number. And I had brothers call me on three-way and say, I'm a trooper, I'm not authorized to teach, but this brother's asking me questions. Can you answer them for him? Put me on speakerphone. And we sit there and we go through it. You know what I'm saying? That's because they want to know. If they don't want to know, do not cast our pearls before swine. Kick the dust off your feet, keep it moving. Go ahead, up.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 12.
Now, this is the law. Go ahead.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Only honor thy father and thy mother if they in the truth, right?
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Honor thy father and thy mother, even if they not in the truth. That's your mama, right? There's a brother in the school who told me, you know what I'm saying, his mother is Esau. And one of the hardest things for him to accept was that his mother was the devil, right? Right? He had a hard time with it. But understanding that this is just talking about nations who the Lord cares about and so on and so forth, that's still his mama. He still has to respect her as such. Why? Keep reading.
That thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee.
Now, this is this is a law, but it also comes with a promise. If you're gonna disrespect your mama, don't expect for your days to be long upon the earth. All right, that's what this is saying right here. Regardless, even if your mama's Esau, respect her as your mama. Your daddy was a crackhead. Respect him as your daddy. Right? This even when you come into the truth. Now you're coming into the truth. My daddy knows for a fact that he was not there when I was growing up. And he's sometimes shocked at the way I treat him with respect and honor, even though he was not there. You understand? He said, "You the only one of my kids that call me and do this and make sure I'm good." And the reason why is because the Lord told me to. I'm going to do what the Lord told me to, regardless of how I feel about whatever situation. Everybody understand? All right, good. Micah 7:6. Let's get Micah 7:6 real quick. This is a time where we're going to get into Israel where I think we already there. And this is something you have to learn when coming into the truth, because you're going to learn a lot of things that go directly against what your mama and your grandmama and all of them believe. And it's hard to be able to deal with them and still be able to be in the truth. What you have to understand is, me and my mama, the only time we'll talk about like God or something, if she bring up something, I might throw it out there. And this is how I deal with it. I'll say to her, "Well, Jesus did say this." And then I throw out a scripture, right? And she can't argue with it. She'll be like, "You know what? He did say it. Do say that in the Bible," right? That's the only time we ever talk about it. She don't know what I believe. She ain't coming to no classes. She ain't coming to no Passover. She ain't dealing with it. She think I'm crazy. Shameless plug. Go ahead.
Micah chapter 7, verse 6. For the son dishonoreth the father.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter riseth up against her mother.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house.
Oh, that's a terrible thing right there. And that's where we at as a nation. Already, without the truth, it's already happening. You see people that don't respect their mama, their daddy. Oh, man, don't ask a young sister growing up about her daddy who ain't around. Oh, she going to give him the business, and she don't even know him. She don't even know why he not around. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a sister, do not badmouth your baby daddy to your children. Just let her find out on her own. That's what my mama did. Like, go on out there, spend some time with your daddy. And I came to the knowledge of he really wasn't into the same type of time I was on. He was on something different. And at the end of the day, when I got grown enough to where I knew he couldn't tell me what to do, that was when I was able to build a bond with him. Now, we good and I'm going to respect you, but you can't tell me nothing because I'm a grown man at this point. You know what I'm saying? So respect your family. This is what it was talking about. Now, when it comes to the truth, this is what Christ said. Give me Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. I'm going to go kind of fast. If there's any questions, just slow me down, ask the question, and I'll stop. So I'm going to give you a few scriptures. This is just on dealing with your family and how you got to look at this thing. Because when you're coming into the truth, it's hard to understand it. That's a dynamic that nobody ever talks about. Now you in the truth. You trying to serve the Lord. You trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and none of your family are. My family got this big thing set up for Thanksgiving right now, where all the family is going to be there. Guess who ain't going to be there? This guy. I ain't going to be there. They know I'm not going to be there. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Come Saturday, Sunday, if I can catch them, if I'm going to camp, if I'm not going to camp, if I catch them, I'll fall over there because I know they get the point. You know what I'm saying? It's not unlawful to spend time with your family. It's not unlawful to eat certain things. But what you want to do is make a difference between you and your family when it comes to serving the Lord. Make your election sure is what the scriptures say. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
This is in red, right?
Come.
This is YAHANNA, a.k.a. Jesus Christ, a.k.a. sweet baby Jesus in the manger, a.k.a. This is Christ talking right here. Go ahead. What did he say? I'm coming to send peace. That's what he said.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Think not. That means don't even think that I came for peace. That's crazy, right? Why is Jesus talking like that? Not my Jesus. He said, think not that I've come to send peace on the earth. Now, I don't know why they ain't never read this in church. I never seen this in Sunday school. Why is Christ saying, think not that I come? Ain't he the Prince of Peace? What are you talking about, think not that I am not come? Well, what you came for? Read.
I came not to send peace, but they swore.
But they swore. Uh-oh. I ain't come with butterflies and cookies and bubbles. That ain't what Christ came for. But he came with a sword. Now, what does that sword do? If you read in the scriptures, it says his tongue shall be like a two-edged sword, basically cutting fake doctrine. And everything that they lied to you about when it came to Christ, right? That's what he came to cut. Everything that they lied to you about in the Bible, that's what he came to cut with that sword. Now, when you're going against everything that you've been taught growing up, that's going to cut into them. And this is what's going to happen. Keep reading. Verse 35, right?
Oh, God. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
That's not very nice, Jesus. Why you doing that? You come starting stuff. Why, if anybody, either one of y'all can answer this question, why would that ever happen? Why would he say, I'm cut to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter against the daughter-in-law, and the man and the people of your own household will be your foes? Why would he say that? What is the point in that? Anybody know? No?
I want to say to see who's really serving the Most High.
That's a good answer. Sis, you got an answer? You have no idea, right? That sounds crazy. Why is Christ talking crazy? All right, so let's go to Moses, right? Moses was raised in the house of Pharaoh, who was a king. He could have just stayed in the king's house.
Right.
Go ahead.
Sister want to know if you can repeat the question.
The question was, why is Christ talking in Matthew chapter 10, verse 34 and 35? Think that not that I come to send peace on the earth. I am not come to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. My question was, why is Christ saying that? Like, what good is that a person be separated, or their enemies or their foes be the same people that's their family? That's the question. Why would that? What would that benefit? Now I'm going into the answer, talking about Moses. Moses was raised. Pharaoh was like a daddy to him, right? He could have just went and became royalty and never thought about his bloodline or his people again, right? But because he cared about his people, you know what I'm saying, then there are certain things that Moses had to give up in order to become the leader of the Israelites, in order to lead God's people up out of there, in order to go and tell the people to put blood on their doorposts so that the angel of the Lord would not destroy their household, in order to tell the people to walk on dry ground across the Red Sea when the Lord was trying to get them up under the opposition. Right now, what happens is people are comfortable in their oppression, but the Lord wants his people to rule the entire earth. When the Lord changed, pulled Abraham daddy was this Eber, right? He was the son of Eber, and they had customs that went along with the land. But the Lord was pulling him out to say, now I want you to circumcise your sons. I want you to follow this law. I want you to do this, do that. But before him, his family wasn't dealing with it. Right now, the Lord is doing the same thing with you. I want you to follow this. The Lord ain't called my brother. The Lord ain't called my daddy. He called me. This is why I'm here. He said, there are people that need to know how to serve me properly and correctly, and I need you to go and teach them. So now if I wait on my mama and my brother and my cousin and my auntie and all of them to come in, I'll never get no work done. When it came to Christ, Christ went and picked them brothers up off their job. They was at their job fishing. Say, drop them nets and come follow me. They walked off their job. Come follow me. They don't even know this nigga, right? They don't even know him. Bruh, if a dude came to your job tomorrow and say, listen, the Lord sent me to come get you, Yama, you all right? Put down them knives and utensils and follow. You're going to be like, you crazy, bro. I got bills. What are you talking about? But they followed him. Here's the point. The things that you're going to have to do in order to prove that you serve the Lord and that you follow Christ is going to seem extreme to everybody else around you. Even if it's just not eating certain things at certain times. I got into the point where I fast on Thanksgiving for the most part. Right? They might call me on Friday and be like, I got a plate round here for you or whatever the case may be. All right, now it's nobody there. All right, I come get it. That's now. But when I was first coming into the truth, I wouldn't even eat none of the food, none of it. And I would suggest for the sake of, until you're strong enough to understand the difference, you do the same thing. But it's not a law against any turkey or anything else. You just got to understand that you doing it and saying you're an Israelite and saying you don't keep can be a stumbling block to somebody who wants to see a difference between you and them. It's no different than if you saying you an Israelite and you come around and you sitting in the weed session and you hit the weed. It's like, I thought you was different, man. You just like us. You ain't no different from us, right? So the variance that's going to be for your mother and your father and all of these people is because they don't serve God. This is what the scriptures say. Choose ye. Let me see if that's a part of this before I get too deep into it because I got a little bit of time. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'll wait on that one. I'll wait on that one.
Sister Mia responded.
What was her response?
She had two responses. That because he didn't put all nations together as one, and then she said that Christ came for the lost sheep of Israel.
Yeah, but my mama is the lost sheep of Israel. My brother, my cousins, they are from the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? So when he's talking about setting that variance, you got to remember that 2/3 of even Israelites are not going to make it into the kingdom, right? The Lord don't want to destroy none of us, but there's some people. Y'all ever seen that movie in the Matrix where it says some people so dependent on the Matrix they'll fight you if you try to unplug them or try to open their minds to something else. All people want to know is what they know. You start talking about anything different, they'll be like, oh no, I don't want to hear that. Oh no, I don't want to hear it. Don't teach me nothing but what I know and what I've been taught all my life. I don't want to know anything else. You know why? Because there's a responsibility with knowing. Right? Give me Hebrews, I think it's 10 and 27. This is on something else. Hold your spot right there. Matter of fact, I'll go to it. Hold your spot right there. You got it? I believe it's 10 and 27. It might be 9 and 27. I don't remember scriptures off the top of my head like that, but I've been all right tonight. Been on point. Everything I called out, I've been where it's supposed to be at. Hebrews. Nope. Yeah, 10 and 26. 10 and 26. This is why they don't want to know. And they don't even know this scripture right here. Now I'm saying when you talk to Christians, they'll say, Jesus died for me, right? Or all my sins, right? But this is what they don't know. And here's the thing you got to know when you're coming into the truth and learning certain things. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin.
So that's crazy right there, because Christ sacrificed his life and died for us, right? But if we sin willfully after we came into the knowledge of the truth, you can't put that on Christ. He only died once for you to give you another chance to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments and serve the Most High the way we were supposed to. It's different if you didn't know. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Now you know, so now you got to do it. They don't want to learn nothing else because they know everything that they love to do is against the Most High. Remember, the scripture said, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Right? Guess what they killed Christ for? He ain't sleep with nobody woman. He ain't steal nothing. He ain't kill nobody. He ain't do nothing. They killed him for speaking the words of God. You know why? Because it proved, that's the scripture. Let me get it. So you won't think I'm saying this. Go ahead and read 10 in Matthew chapter 10 where you was at. And the man's foes, verse 36. Read that. I'm going to find it real quick.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Mm-hmm.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Can somebody please tell me what Christ is talking about? Why I got to choose between him and my son? I love my son. Who don't love their mama and their kids? If my mama tells me to go against what God said to do, then I have a decision to make. Am I going to follow my mama or am I going to follow my king? Hear me out. As a man, am I going to follow my mama or am I going to follow my king? That's the decision you got to make. When it comes time for Christmas, am I going to follow my son and my daughter or am I going to follow my king? Christ is the head of every man, so Christ is my king. The man is the head of the woman, so sister, your king is your man. You gonna follow your mama or your king? Yama, who you following? All right, then. Christ is the head of every man. So you gonna tell your mama you ain't coming to see her based on the work that you have to do for Christ? That's a cold statement. You are definitely in a cult. You are definitely in the cult. My mama had a big birthday party last year. You know what I'm saying? She hit one of them ages, you know what I'm saying? 55, whatever it is, right? 55, something like that. Everybody was there. Not me. To my mama, I hate her because I didn't show up. But at the end of the day, tonight, after class, I'll probably go by there and see my mom. It's just a random day. It ain't her birthday. It ain't her birthday party. It ain't nothing, right? It ain't the same, though. I wanted to take a picture on my birthday with all my kids. You see what he's talking about when he's saying this? Right? It's another one that said in Mark. Let me see if I got it here. Oh, that's wrong. Let me erase that. Oh man, where's the one where it say for if a man hate not, that's it right there. That's the one I want. You got that? Can you get that for me? And Mark, I think it's the same exact account where he's saying it, but he say hate. You don't hate your mother, hate your father. You know what I'm saying? And people get it wrong. This is in reference to the Most High, right? It's what the word that is the way that you look is relative, right? It's relative what he's talking about. In other words, like in the scriptures, it say if a man have two wives, one he love and one he hated. I've been there. Anyways, he ain't saying that he literally hate the other one. It's just he don't love her as much as he loves the one that's obedient and does what he says and is nice and is quiet. And all right, he got to fight with this one. That's all it means. Hate is relative. So it's talking about when he says, I'm gonna read it. If you got any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat for everybody that's online. Hold on. Let's see. I can't even look things up on this thing. I gotta figure this out. Let me look it up on my phone. I want to say 7, but that's just me guessing. One day I'll be able to be one of them people that remember all the precepts off the top of their head. Right now, I feel that strength when I have brothers like Thomayom and Recavia, also Recavia. They know. That ain't it. It's Luke chapter 14 and 26. Luke 14 and 26. Salaki. Read that for me. This is the same account, but it's from Luke as opposed to what it says in Matthew. Now in Matthew it says, if a man loves father or mother more than me, he's not worthy to be my disciple. But Luke says it a different way, but he's saying the same exact thing.
Where we in Luke?
Huh?
Where are we in Luke?
14 and 26.
That's another question online too.
Okay. Get to 14 and 26 first.
Come. Luke chapter 14, verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also.
Yeah, what?
Yea, and his own life also.
Why should you ever hate yourself? That's crazy, ain't it? I thought you're supposed to have high self-esteem. Love yourself. It's a song. I love myself. I heard that song. I love myself. I love me some me. People say, why is Christ saying hate yourself? Hate your mama and your children and everything else. Why is he saying that? I just gave you the answer. Go ahead, Yamaya.
He's not saying to literally hate yourself, but hate the things that you used to do.
Used to
live.
Used to. What does that mean? When we come in here, right, we call it killing the old man. What you got to understand about yourself is before you understood the truth, no matter how good of a person you thought you was a dirty, disgusting sinner. That's the hard part right there. Once you can get to that part, then you can serve God properly, right? Scriptures say all our righteousness is as filthy rags. The Lord called us a filthy rag, a menstrual rag. That's terrible. Why would he say something like that about a people that he loves and he sent his only begotten son to die for? Because no matter how disgusting we was, the Lord still loved us in spite of that. And that mercy is what you should use whenever somebody invites you to sin with them. You crazy? You know, the Lord loved me when I was out. Listen, what I'm telling you, Christ was murdered, and the people he was dying for were the same ones that voted to keep Barbarus, which was a thief, alive. Think about that. Paul said, Christ yet died for you while you were still a sinner. He ain't died for the good people. He ain't died for the good people that was doing right. He died for you when you was out in the world doing all manner of evil and everything that the Lord told you not to do. That's hardcore right there. And guess what? He didn't want to do it. Why am I saying that? He prayed to God, if this cup can be removed from me, please remove this cup. I don't want to die for these niggas. They hard-headed, they stiff-necked, they ain't gonna listen to nothing you say over and over and over and over and over again. Nevertheless, God, not my will, but yours. This is what he told the Most High. Nevertheless, not what I want, but what you want. And this is the same thing we say whenever you want to go and chill with your old lady, but you got an order that you got to take care of. Whenever you want to do something, but you got camp that you got to go through. Whenever you feel like these people do not care whether you show up to class or not, and you got a class to teach, somebody cares. Somebody And the Lord is going to send the ones that my sheep hear my voice. Everybody else who ain't here don't supposed to be here. I used to be talking to Captain Shaw all the time. Like, can I change this and do that? He said, look at the Philly school. He said, General Hodge used to tell me that the only people that ever came to class was him, his wife, and his kids. For years. That's it. Bruh, him, his wife, and his kids. There's multiple generals and captains out of the Philly school right now. You just got to remain consistent with what you're doing. And you cannot fall based on numbers and things of that nature, because Joel Osteen and T.D. Jakes got thousands of people that watch them, and they ain't teaching them nothing about what thus saith the Lord. People want to hear, oh man, we got to go into it. People, give me John 7:7. Let me speed it up. I'm running out of time and I'm thinking of other precepts. Give me John 7:7. Real quick, I forgot.
John chapter 7, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
The world cannot hate you,
Mm-hmm.
but me it hateth,
Yeah.
because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil.
That's what it is right there. Your family ain't mad at you. They mad at Christ. And you speaking the words of Christ and doing what the Most High said to do. And what that does is show them what? What does it say? Read it again.
John chapter 7, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth.
The world and your mama and your family don't really hate you. It's God and the Most High that they really hate. And why is it? Because the God of the Bible don't allow them to do whatever they want to do. That's what it is. They really don't want to have to serve that God. See, people would rather serve the God of the other nations. If you are Egyptologist and you saying that, yeah, I'm going to serve this God, you know why? Because he lets you be a homosexual. He lets you get high. He lets you deal with whores and all of these type of things. The God of this Bible don't play that. Everybody understand? And Christ, our King, who did not sin not one time, us living a lifestyle that's like that shows them how wicked they are, because they're not willing to do what you do. Y'all get it? Read it again. It ain't you that they hating. Go ahead.
John chapter 7, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil.
The me that is hating because I'm testifying against the things that they're doing. I'm not allowing them to keep the status quo, and nobody ever tell them that what you're doing is evil. I'm showing them that it's evil based on no matter what is fun and how good the food tastes and how much things that you're going to get and gifts that you'll receive. I don't want to be a part of it because it goes against the Most High. Where we was at, Isaiah 49.
No, it was in Matthew.
Huh?
From 4 John 7:7?
Yeah.
It was in Matthew. But real quick, brother on the line want to know if Mark chapter 3, verse 33 could be used as a precept.
Go ahead and get it. You sure? I could have swore we did Isaiah or Matthew. Oh, Luke 49. It was Luke 49? What you got wrote down there? Luke what?
I don't know.
Remember it said that, it's Luke 49 and 13, right? Go back there first before you go to the Mark.
Luke chapter
49 and 13. I'm doing that off the top of my head. It might be wrong. Ain't no 49? I guess I got to go back to it.
14 and 26?
14 and 26. You got that? Yeah. All right, so what we just read, right? What we just read.
We just read John 7:7.
Where it says, I testify to them that the works they doing is evil. So when you got your people right? And you doing what's right, they're gonna feel like you hate them because what you showing them is a righteous lifestyle to live, and it's showing them that they are evil. That's why they're going to think you hate them. Y'all get what I'm saying or no? It's gonna feel like to my daddy when I don't call him on Father's Day or his birthday, or I don't get him nothing for Christmas, and his other kids do, that I hate him. But me honoring him, even if he has not been as great of a dad that he could be, showing him the honor and respect he deserves as being my father, is me showing him that I love him, which might not feel the same way. What you looking at up?
Precept. I was pulling precept and broke.
All right, give me the precept that the brother pulled. Let me see if it's a precept real quick.
Mark chapter 3, verse 33. And he answered them, saying, who is my mother or my brethren? And he looked.
Yeah, that's in the breakdown. I think we're gonna go to it. We'll go to that right after this. Yeah, you can hold that. Go ahead to Luke 14 again.
Luke chapter 14, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
If any man come to me and hate not his father.
I gotta hate my daddy. Go ahead.
And mother.
Hate my mama. You crazy.
And wife.
And wife. I love my wife. I love all my wives. What you talking about? You crazy? Hold on, wait a minute. I wouldn't even be dealing with this broad if I ain't love her. What you talking? I gotta hate her? Go ahead.
And children.
And children. Now, when you get a sister, especially a sister that come from the hood, right? Black or Hispanic sister that come from the hood or the ghetto or the barrio, nothing she loves more than her kids. She hate her boyfriend, her baby daddy. She don't like none of them, but she love her kids, bro. And that's her claim to fame. When it comes to my kids, I don't play. You can do anything to me, just don't mess with my kids. She's ready to fight. And Christ is saying what?
If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren
and brothers, go ahead,
and sisters.
We'll fight about my little sisters. Go ahead.
Yea, and his own life also.
Oh, I gotta hate myself too.
He cannot be my disciple.
Now, what does this mean? Let's break this down. When you're dealing with your family, right? What I just went to show you that what you're doing is going to show that they are wicked and they don't want to deal with that fact. They would love to think that they're righteous in their own right, not dealing with the Bible. But what you're doing is living the Bible. People read the Bible. People got a Bible on their desk, on their dashboard, and on their kitchen table, on their living room table, but they read it and they got one. We live it. There's a difference. Christ was the word of God in action. He did everything the Lord said to do. And if you are a follower of Christ, in 1 John 2 and 5, I think it said, if you're going to follow Christ, you got to do as he did. You got to walk as he walked. So that means you got to do the same thing. And that's going to come with pissing some people off. And you ain't even doing nothing to them. All you doing is telling them, I don't do that no more. Oh, you too good to smoke with us now? Oh, you too good to come here? Oh, you too good to go to the strip club? Oh, you too good to go out? You go out with a sister coming to the truth. She go out with a sister she used to hang with. And now they're going to tell her she's wearing too much clothes. Oh, you all covered up now. Are you too good to dress like us? Everything you do is going to be against those people. And you ain't even doing nothing to them. All you doing is changing your life and doing what the Lord said to do. So it's going to feel like you hate them. You get it? Let me tell you what they want. I'm going to show you what they want. Give me, is it Isaiah 30? Isaiah 30 and 9. This is what they want. They don't really want the truth. And that's the problem. Right? When you come in contact with the truth, they don't want that.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
That this is a rebellious people.
This is talking about the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is a rebellious people. Go ahead.
Lying children.
What?
Lying
They
children.
be lying. They say they want to serve God. but they lying. If you really tell them how to serve and praise the Lord, they not gonna do it. They lying. Go ahead.
Children that will not hear the law of the Most High.
Y'all see that, right? That's our people. That's our people right there. So now you being the same people and choosing to do what the Lord said to do is weird. It's weird. What's wrong with you? What you mean you ain't coming over for Thanksgiving? You know, we're going to have sweet potato pie there, the macaroni and cheese, all of the good things that you love to eat is going to be there. How are you not coming? You know why? Because you don't live by the lusts and desires of your own flesh. You serve the living God, the creator of heaven and earth. Keep going.
Verse 10, which say to the seers.
The seers are the prophets, the people that speak the words of God, right? The priests. They say to the seers. You wouldn't go, you want to counsel or something, you would go to the seer, and the seer would tell you what the Lord said to do. These people are lying and rebellious people who say to the seers or the priests or the prophets, what they saying to them?
See not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
They saying to the seers, don't see what the Lord told us to do. And saying to the prophets, don't prophesy unto us right things. That ain't what we want to hear. Anybody ever went to a church where the preacher was actually preaching the Bible and telling you what you can't do? Ain't that many people going to be in that church. But the ones who say, God is going to bless you. You've been a hoe all week. You've been a drug dealer. Ha! God is going to bless you. Regardless. You ain't got to do nothing he say. He's still going to bless you. Those are the churches where everybody is at. They saying to the seers, don't see what the Lord said. And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Keep going.
Come. Speak unto us smooth things.
Speak unto us smooth things. Exactly what I just said. Everything you going through, the Lord gonna sort it out, even though you ain't did nothing he said. Everything that's in your life that's bad, the Lord is gonna fix it, even though you ain't doing nothing he said. That's what the people want to hear. That's why they ain't coming into the truth. That's why when you ask them or when you do something that God said to do that's righteous, they're going to tell you you're crazy. They're going to say that you don't love your family, you don't love your kids. What your baby mama think about you not buying your son something for his birthday, yummy, or Christmas? You ain't got to tell me. That's a relative. It don't even matter. Here's my point. Even if she ain't told you, you don't love your kids because you ain't doing it when your oppressor said you're supposed to do it. You get it? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Right? That's showing them that you hate your kids. Your kids gonna think you hate them when everybody else got something on Christmas and you ain't get it. Now, if a man come to me and not hate his mother, his father, his brothers, his sisters, his kids, and his own self also, you got to deprive yourself too. You got to not give yourself some things that you want too. If you can't do that, you are not worthy to be Christ's disciple. Now, let's talk about family, right? Matthew chapter 12 is the same thing as Mark, the one you just read in Mark. What was the brother's question was? Mark 7:7?
No, it was Mark 3:33.
Mark 3:33 is the same account in Matthew chapter 12. Let's get that real quick. Matthew 12:46.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 46.
Mm-hmm.
While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without desiring to speak.
All right, so this is Christ. He's out, you know what I'm saying? You could say in a camp-like setting or a teaching class amongst the other Jews, and his family coming to him. It's like you being at camp and your brothers walking up on you, your real blood brothers walking up on you. But you have a duty, you know what I'm saying? You're doing what you're supposed to do. And these your people. Now, you love your people. When he's talking about hate, is relative. What I'm saying is, which one do you love more? Me or your mama? Is what Christ is saying. Which one do you love more? Me or your daddy? Me or your kids? Me or yourself? Because to deny yourself is to serve Christ. Now, Christ is showing this to you, where he is teaching the word of God and trying to raise up the children of Israel. And here go his mama and his brothers walk in. Go to verse 47.
Come. Verse 47. Then one said unto him,
Somebody said to him, what?
Behold,
Hey,
thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee.
hey, your mama and your brother over there, they want to talk to you real quick. Now, he's in the middle of teaching and doing the work of the Most High. How do you deal with this? This is how our king did with it. Go.
Come. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother? And who are my brethren?
Who is my mama and who is my brother? Now, he knows Mary. He knows his brothers. He knows who he's talking about. He's asking him that so that he can give him the rest of what is important. Go.
And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren.
So the brothers that's here with me at camp, the brothers that we out here doing this work together, this is my mother and my brethren. Know what I'm saying? You want to throw some sisters in there, the sisters that got the food waiting after camp, the sisters that's following their man, even though people think they crazy. Oh, you with him and this and that and the other, whatever. Those are my mother, my father, and my brethren. Why? Read.
Verse 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and my sister and mother.
Here's what I'm telling y'all. My mama or daddy call me right now. I'm not answering. I have a job and a work and a responsibility to do to serve God. They have all the time they want to talk to me. On Saturdays, I'm at camp. On Mondays, I'm in class. If I'm giving somebody counsel, I'll call them back. The people who are trying to change their life and serve God is way, way, way more important to me than people who are not trying to change their life and serve God. That's hardcore, ain't it? I ain't naturally like that. It's hard for me to answer the captain over my rib. But sometimes it gotta happen. The people that are willing to do the word, and guess what? My captain told me, your rib is in the truth. You got to answer her even if you're in class. Because she in the truth. Now, my rib that wasn't in the truth, I can snooze her. Hey, so here's my point. Whosoever shall do the will of my Father in heaven, the same as my mother and my brother and my sister and my wife and so on and so forth. Everybody understand, this is that hate that he was talking about. It's relative. Let me get one more.
When it say the brethren, that was like actually brothers that he had. So that's
when the ones that was with his mama, Mary, yeah, that was his actual brothers. But the ones that he's talking about, the disciples, they was his brothers, like Yamayan's my brother, like you, my sister, because y'all trying to learn the ways of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Like a brother in the truth would be my brother over my blood brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm closer with the brothers that's in here than I am with my own blood brothers. So that's what his point was. Y'all can write this down. 2 Maccabees chapter 7. This is a story about a sister who had brothers, who had 7 sons, and the Greeks came to them and they wanted to make her eat swine's flesh, and they was going to kill them if they did not. And this sister sat there and watched all of her sons get killed, and they all stood for the Lord and said, you know what I'm saying, we're going to follow the laws of our fathers, even if y'all kill us. And one by one, they killed them. And the sister was last, and they asked her to eat swine's flesh too. And she went out just like her sons. It was the most hardcore thing I ever seen in my life in the Bible, about this sister who sat there and watched all her kids get murdered by this government that only wanted them to break the laws of God to prove their allegiance to them. So you can read that on your own time. I ain't got time to get into that. But let me get Matthew chapter 19, verse 27. This might be the last one. Matthew 19 and 27.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore?
Mm-hmm.
And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Now, what they saying is, man say, like, look, we walked off our jobs. We ain't been away. We done been away from our family to follow you and to do this work. What shall we have? And Christ said, what? Read that part again.
Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones.
He's going to make them, remember the scripture said we were supposed to be a nation of kings and priests. He basically saying, when I'm the king over all the earth, when I come into my glory, you will get glory for following me as well and have 12 thrones. Keep going.
Judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Judging the 12 tribes of Israel, which will be over everybody else, and everybody else then after that. Keep going.
Oh, God. And everyone that have forsaken houses, all brethren, all sisters, all father.
We done gave up my family to do this work. Everybody that's given up their family or lost family in order to do this work, go ahead.
Or mother.
Or what?
Or mother. Or wife.
Or wife.
Or
There's brothers in this truth that have lost wives standing on the faith of the Most High and what the God said in these scriptures. It's a hard thing to deal with. Go ahead.
Or children.
Or children.
Or land.
It's people children that hate them because they grew up and went against them. You know what I'm saying? You got a gay daughter or a gay son. They're going to think you hate them just because you're trying to uphold the Most High and what he said. Sometimes you may have to be standoffish when it comes to them. You still love them, but you don't love what they're doing. So in order for you to prove that to them, it may bring to the point where it says, like what Christ was saying, where they might think you hate them. But if you've given up all of these things to stand for the Most High, keep going.
For my name's sake.
If you've done it for Christ's sake, go ahead.
Oh, God. Shall receive 100-fold.
Shall receive what?
100-fold.
Don't worry, the Most High got more mamas for you.
And shall inherit everlasting life.
And everlasting life. So you can get 100-fold, brothers, sisters, children, all of that. Wives, you lost a wife for the truth. Don't worry, the Lord gonna repay that 100-fold. And you'll get everlasting life, which is rulership within this earth, which is heaven on earth, which is the ability to not have to serve anybody else, but to serve our God. All right. It's Deuteronomy 13:6 real quick. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, thy son, thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee, saying secretly, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou or thy fathers, right? If they say that, namely of the gods of the people which are around about you, nigh unto thee and far off, from one end to the earth to the other, thou shalt not consent unto them. So if your family is telling you to go against the words of the God, the law says you shouldn't listen to them, nor hearken to them. Neither shall thine eye pity them, right? But thou shalt surely kill them. So that's what it said in the law. Now, Christ came so you don't kill them. Hey, I got to take this for everybody that's online. I'm in the class right there. Shalom, Yabashim Shrikatah. Salaki, sir.